to be heard following what many call the humiliation and disrespect to Yoruba kings at a recent function in Iseyin, Oyo State, Nigeria's southwest. This comes as the Apex Yoruba Interest Group, Yoruba Council Worldwide, wants the former president Olusegun Obasanjo to face the legal consequences of his public outburst. The group, in a letter of pre-action notice, was of the view that the former president, Obasanjo, should henceforth stop further parading of himself as the Balogun of Owu Kingdom, as he has failed in his obligation to uphold the culture and traditions of the Yoruba people. Recall that former President Olusegun Obasanjo was given a 3-day ultimatum to apologize for his actions to the entire Yoruba land for the alleged sacrilegious act against the revered monarchs. Now, we're being joined by the president of the Yoruba Council Worldwide, Oladotun Hassan Esquire. Thank you so much, Oladotun, for joining us this morning. Now that we're seeing this issue as regards what Obasanjo, that's the former president of Nigeria, Olusegun Obasanjo, did in terms of situation with the kings in southwest as it transpired in Oyo State. So why is it that you are wanting to approach the courts, and what are the prayers that you are going to be tendering in terms of allegations now?
Well, we have to see this issue not as an issue of infighting between the Yoruba Council Worldwide and Mr. Obasanjo alone. This is an issue that has to do with laying a wrong foundation by former President Olusegun Obasanjo in the public place. The wrong foundation is predicated on his abuse of moral, abuse of tradition, and abuse of reasoning. When a man is too overzealous in arrogance and he sees himself above board, that can be leaned to correction, especially when one of his wives, out of our own sympathy and empathy to the Yoruba people, came out to equally apologize on his behalf. He denied that and disowned her. To us, it shows a man that is too arrogant in nature. For the fact that he's a former president, he does not have that power. He does not have that moral maturity to teach royal fathers how they need to deal in public places, especially royal fathers that respect statutory and constituted authority, royal fathers that place the governor in high esteem and they have good relationship. And I don't think a visitor will be the one to dictate how the house owner will manage his family. He is just a guest at that function, and he has gone ahead to overreach his welcome by embarrassing the governor. And it is in that effect that we gave a stand 3 days warning for him to correct himself and apologize. And having waited after 3 days, we saw that aggression in him, that he's not just doing it to spite the Obas, but he's doing it intentionally to grandstand this illicit approach in dealing with just a moral issue. But, and for us, this is more of degrading and embarrassing and disreputing that status of the Obas in Yoruba land. That is why we say, if you refuse to do this on a moral ground, then we have to assert the law to compel you, because what you have actually done is an embarrassment. So the law will definitely compel you, which we believe the court of competent jurisdiction in the coming days. We've already served him a pre-action notice for him to know that he has no monopoly to constitute what he's just trying to do. We have to
now, Oladotun, let's look at traditional institutions and the power that they wield. Of course, we know that according to the Constitution, the governor of a state has the power to actually either dethrone or endorse a personality or a person to become the king of a particular village, city, or town, as the case may be, or its jurisdiction. Now, what does that say about the powers and the level of influence that the government, in terms of the state government and these traditional institutions they wield. What does it say about these two institutions? And also, how do we bring parity in terms of closeness between traditional rulers and state governments, bring them together to foster democratic growth and, of course, economic benefits for states and for people that live within that locality or community?
Well, let me make an impression note. There have not been any crisis between Obas and the governor. No one has brought a complaint, and if there is any, we have the Council of Obas in every state, which are usually inaugurated by the governor of the state. And that of the Oyo State, to my record, there is no infringement or there is no crisis. This intended crisis is just an figment of Mr. Obasanjo's imagination, trying to cause rift, trying to implode the state, and trying to bring in his own vendetta, because we just see some elements that is trying to espouse his vendetta on the cultural status of the Obas. And what we see, and what we definitely advise the government, is to increase the roles of the Oba. Definitely every Oba is not the governor that installed the Oba. Every Oba has their own modus operandi of installation and rights, and you must be from a ruling house. Once you pass through your immediate family nomination, it is who the family or the community nominates that they present to the local government and for governor to give their staff of office for recognizing and place them on the state chieftaincy ministry for recognition, payment of salaries, and also administering their immediate environment, meaning the government already recognizes that role. Our own agitation further is that in as much as the state is giving this recognition,
okay,
we have now further made our appeal to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to give the Obas, the traditional institution, more role of grassroots governance in terms of establishing a Ministry of Chieftaincy and Traditional Affairs to manage not just the Obas, but every traditional factors within that environment.
All right.
To see proper dealing with issue of insecurity, issue of economic development, and robust relationship to consolidate on that. And not just this way the Olusegun Obasanjo is going. And we, as a group, we are the vanguard voice of all Yoruba people. We see what Obasanjo is doing as a spy on us. That is
Oladotun. Oladotun.
Let's report.
Thank you so much for your summation this morning on the news. Really appreciate your contribution. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that.